Hi everybody, it's Kim, and I'm here to do a video of this card that I showed you at the end of my last video. It's a fall card. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a fall card though, but I'm going to show you how to make the card. Like I said, if you watched my last video, this is a card that we made in a card club that I go to once a month with a lady named Debbie, and she always has some really great ideas on cards. Some very, very talented lady. So let's get started. I'm doing this for the first time on video, so hopefully it's not going to be too tedious for you guys to watch. Here we go. So Debbie gave me these directions, and I'm going to be following her directions, and I will post these at the end of the video on a slide so you can see exactly what we do. The card opens up to a nice long card. Zoom out so you can see that. So, and you have 4 panels that you can stamp on, and then 2 panels to put paper on the inside and 4 on the outside. So it folds like that. Okay? Alright, so here we go. Alright, I'm going to use a Dakota paper. I picked this with the brown and blue little flowers on one side, and then the bigger brown and blue flowers on the other side. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut off my strip on the end, because I'm going to want to use that anyways at some point. So I'm going to take that off and set that piece aside. So we're going to take our piece of solid cardstock, and I picked the blue out of the Dakota pack, and it says to cut it down to 12 by 10. So I'm going to take one side. Let me zoom out a little bit so you can see that better. Take one side, cut it at the 10-inch mark, which is right there. Set that aside. And then she says to cut on the long side, the 12-inch side, cut it at 5.5. So that's right there. And then cut it at 5.5 again. Is right about, let's see here, where am I? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in. And then we should have a 1-inch by 10-inch piece left over. That's going to be the band that goes around the outside of the card to hold it together at the end. Alright, so now you take your 2 pieces that you just cut that are 5.5 by 10, and you go in 3 inches in. Let's see how she did this. And you cut it from the diagonal up. I'm not 100% sure that's right, so hold on, let me just check this out real quick. Okay, so this is what I decided to do. I'm going to put my top corner at the 3-inch mark on my cutter. I'm going to put the bottom corner in the track of where it's going to cut. And then I'm going to cut. Let's see if this is right. I'm learning as I go. It looks right. That's what it looked like. So that looks like it's right. So let's do that with this one too. So we're going to take our top corner and we're going to put it at the 3-inch mark. I'm going to turn our bottom corner down here, put it right in the track, and cut up. Okay, so now we have 2 pieces that look like this. So now we're going to score those starting on the short side at 2 inches. I'm going to turn this way so I can get the straight edge against the top of my trimmer here. Let me get that guy out of the way before I accidentally cut instead of score. And my bone folder here. And we're going to score this at 2 inches. 4 inches. again at 6 inches. Same thing with the other piece. Straight edge up here, starting at the slimmer end, 2 inches. 4 inches. And 6 inches. The nice thing about Debbie's workshop, she always has this all done for us. All we gotta do is put them together. How sweet is that? Okay, so you have 2 pieces that look like this now that are scored at 2, 4, and 6 inches. And we're going to fold those. I'm going to look at the other card here to get the idea. So it looks like we're folding this one up. So the first one across, the next one back, and the next one back. Then you can take your bone folder and put those all down good. Okay, so that's that piece. And then the same thing with this piece. We're going to fold this one over. And if you do it backwards, that's not a big deal. You can always just change it. Paper's fairly forgiving on the folding. You just bone fold it down. Eventually you train it where you want it to go. Alright, so we have 2 pieces like that. Alright, and they are going to get adhesived, is that a word? Together, like that. So, I'm going to come back to that in just a minute. I'm going to cut out my other pieces for the texture paper first, before we do that. Alright, so you're going to cut 2 strips that are 2 inches by 3.5 inches. So let's cut 2 inches. By 3.5 inches. And then you're going to have 2 that are 2 inches by 4 inches. So how big is this one? I'm going to be able to use that piece. Yep. 2 inches by 4 inches. Then I need another one like that. So I'm going to cut another 2-inch strip here. So another one for 4 inches. And then you're going to do 2 that are 2 inches by 4.5 inches. So it looks like I'm going to need one more 2-inch strip off of this. So 2 inches by 4.5 inches. Okay, so there you go. You have 2 that are 2 inches by 4.5 inches, 2 that are 2 inches by 4 inches, and 2 that are 2 by 3.5. So they just step down by 1/2 inch. Alright, I think we're done with the cutting and the scoring. Put that guy aside. Then we're going to bring our folded pieces back out and our ATG gun. And let's figure this out together. So, it goes like that. I think I'm just going to put adhesive on this piece here, along the score line on that side, across the bottom, not quite all the way up to the top, and kind of like that, so we don't end up with a bunch of adhesive sticking out anywhere. We'll figure all that out. Alright, so then you're just going to stick those two together right up to the score line. That nice and even right there. And I need one more piece of paper. Where's that at? I'm thinking. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I gotta figure out the rest of this. Okay, so we need also this piece here. So that needs to be, looks like 4 inches, just under 4 inches, like 3 7/8 by, I'm gonna go all the way up to the point, by 5.5. That makes sense. The card's 5.5 tall. Okay, so let me check that again. We're gonna go 4 inches because this ruler has a little bitty extra right there. So we're gonna go 4 inches, a piece of the card or the duo paper, 4 inches by 5.5 inches. So let's cut that out. So I lied. We're not done with the cutting of this paper. So I'm gonna need 4, ouch, I just stabbed myself, 4 inches by 5.5 inches. Okay, so we can get 5.5 inches, right, yep. 5.5 inches by 4 inches. Okay, all right, now we're done with that guy. Okay, so now you just gotta decide which way that you like this the best. Gosh, it's hard to pick. I like them both. Bum, bum, bum. I think I'm gonna go with that one there. And then this one will be blank. And then this panel will have the same as that one. That's not the right size though. That's not the right size. So you want the 4 by 2 inch for this panel here. I'm just laying these out while I figure this out. So, and then there. So you have a blank one with the same color as this, a blank one. Then when you fold it up, the outside, you give it this one, and that one. I'm trying to decide if I like that. I think I do. Okay. Alright, so let's stick all these down. Okay. Sorry, this is kind of tedious. I probably should have done a practice one first, but I'm kind of pressed for time tonight. I wanted to get this done because I told you that I would, so try to do what I say. So we're just going to stick that one down like so, and then we're going to trim off this part here. Okay, so that's how you get your point part of your card. Alright, and then let's stick these down on not the panel next to it, but the next panel over. And that is your 2 inch by 4 inch piece. And you want it going the same color sticking up as your center panel. It's some sticky stuff, I tell you. And the same piece. What's that same piece? This one. Again, the 4" by 2" piece. Okay, and then on the outside, we're going to take our other two, and one's going to go here, but the opposite way. Sorry, it's kind of hard to line this up at the angle I'm at without getting my head in the camera. You don't want to see my gray-headed hair, so not completely gray, but I have 3 boys. 2 of them are teenagers, so 2 of them drive. So I have gray hair, but I've earned it. Every one of them. That one's going to go out here. Okay. And then I'm going to trim those off. That's a hard angle. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do this one first to get it out of the way. Trim. And then trim. And trim. And trim again. Okay, so that's where we are. So we need one more, and I don't have those perfect, so they're kind of, but if I go over it with this, okay. Why is that off there a little bit? I'm not sure why. I folded something wrong, it looks like. But anyway, let's go on because I just want to give you the idea. So, and then this is the front. So this one's going to go with this side down as well. Booger, come on. Don't be stuck, don't be stuck, please don't be stuck. Whew, got lucky. That stuff sticks when it is stuck. Oh, that is really hard to get perfectly straight there. Fix that real quick. But if it's not perfect, I'm just trying to show you guys the idea of this card and give you the directions. So if you want to give it a shot, you can. It's a cute little card once it's done. And so this is your 2.5 or 2" by 3.5". Sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you guys. And then we're going to trim this little corner off. And that little corner off. Okay. That gives you the gist of the card, how it goes together. So, with your little 1-inch strip that you had left over, that's where you're going to make basically a little belly band to go around this to hold it together. So just take that and kind of eyeball where it needs to go. I'm going to give it a little crease just so I know where to put my, actually, you know what, I'm not going to tape that down just yet because I want that little strip that I cut off at the beginning, which is right here. I think I'm going to tape that on there. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it in the middle of the strip and hope I have it kind of straight, at least, hopefully. It's not very straight. But it's going to be straight enough because that's going to be folded around, so it's not going to like, that's not too bad. Okay, just taking that down. Let's clean that glue up. Okay. Trim that end off. Ta-da. Right there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take your card, wrap your belly band around it, figure out where you want it to meet so that you can put some glue on that. Okay. On the card like that. Alright, so there is the basic gist of the card, and I'm going to think about what I want to stamp everywhere and what I want to do with this card, and I'll come back and finish it up. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. So I made some decisions with what I'm going to do with this card. It's kind of masculine, to me it is anyway. And my father-in-law's birthday's coming up in about a month, so I'll be ahead of the game. I'm going to make this his birthday card. So what I decided to do, I took a piece of the off-white cardstock and I cut it at 4 inches by 2.5 inches, and then I rounded the corners, and then I inked up around the edges with Pacifica. And I'm going to stamp on that a birthday sentiment. It says, "With age comes wisdom. You're one of the wisest people I know." We have that kind of joking kind of thing, so I can do that. He's a sweetheart. So let's put that on there. It barely fits, so put that on. Okay, I can live with that. Alright, so I'm going to put that down on the inside of the card. And I'm going to put it kind of low so that it's, when the card's closed, that's not sticking up. I think that'll get it right there. Just barely. I could have put it a little bit lower. Alright. But like I said, I'm not perfect. So, anyway, the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use this. This is an old stamp, so I'm sorry. I try to use current stuff, but I'm not going to do this time. So, it's World's Best Dad. It's from a couple catalogs ago, at least, probably. You might be able to still get it. I'm not sure. It's a D size stamp, D1342, World's Best Dad. So, we're going to stamp some water along the bottom of these. Clean that off real quick. Sorry. And I had taken, while I was off camera, I took a couple different colors and stamped on some spare cardstock. This is Pacifica, and this was Indian Corn Blue, and I like the Pacifica better, so I'm going to use that. It's a little bit darker, it pops a little bit better, so I'm going to just type stamp, not type. I'm getting tired. Nope, I'm not liking that because it's going to overlap. So, let's do some fishies randomly around these pages here. Because he liked to fish. He doesn't really get to do it a lot anymore, but maybe it'll bring back some good memories for him. I might just cut that. I think I'm going to cut that little stamp, that water stamp down a little bit and use it anyway. That way I can make it look like my fish were in the water. So it needs to be, I'm getting ink out over myself. I'm going to cut a little bit off of the end. Normally I wouldn't do that, but I haven't ever used a stamp, and I don't know if I'll ever use it again, actually, so I want it to do what I want it to do now. Oh, I'm a mess tonight. Jeez, oh Pete. I'm gonna have to go wash my hands or I'm gonna get ink everywhere. Alright, now that turned out kind of messy, didn't it? I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'll be sorry about that. I'm back. I went and washed my hands, and that is some of this most stubborn ink, excuse me, ever. So my fingers are still blue, but at least it's not going to come off on everything. So I cut out another piece of that off-white cardstock and re-dabbed the edges and re-stamped my little saying because that's just too messy. I couldn't live with that. So I'm just going to put this right over the top of it. So I guess that if I don't teach you guys how to do things right, then at least I can teach you how to fix your mess ups, right? I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to give it a shot because I couldn't get that off of there. And I don't want to start my whole card over. I think that's going to be fine. There. Yay. I like that much better. Looks a lot nicer. Okay. So the saying that I used comes off of the Just a Number D1514. And you see I have a whole bunch of pre-cut little Cricut things in here because sometimes I take these to work with me and then I just have to take the stamp. It's all cut out. Or if I'm just going to stamp, then it's ready to go. So anyway, that's what those are all about. What else do I want to do? I guess we're just going to do Happy Birthday on the belly band. And we're going to do that with the same little thing. There's a little Happy Birthday in here. This little stamp has lines on it so that you can get things straight. It's upside down. Upside down but straight. So my fingers, I guess, look like what a mechanic's fingers would look like with grease, but mine's with stamps instead. So my husband says I'm a collector, not a stamper. Well, now I can say I'm a stamper, right? So I gotta go to my Cricut and cut out some little doodads. I'll be right back. Okay guys, back for hopefully the final fix of this card. Alright, so I went and cut out a couple things on the Cricut. For the sentiment, I cut out a little shape from the Cricut Artiste cartridge, and it was cut at 1 3/4 inches. I'm not sure that's right. I am sorry, you guys. I should make a card when I'm tired, I guess, huh? It's on page 33. I do know that. In your handbook. And it is not on page 33. It's on page 36. Right? 36. Yep, 36. Sorry. It is the accent 4 button on page 36, and I cut it at whatever the stamp is here. Okay, I cut this one at 1 1/2 inches, and I cut this one at 1 3/4 inches to make a little shadow for it, like that. And then I stamped Happy Birthday out of that same pack that I used to stamp the sentimental saying on the inside. I'm gonna just ink up the edges around that. I'm sorry, you guys, this has been kind of a tedious card, but I kept stopping it because I didn't want you to have to sit through while I think about it and figure out what I'm going to do. So I think we're coming to a close. So I'm just going to adhere this down to each other. Like that. And then I'm going to take, sorry, a glue dot. Or 2. I'm going to put that on the sentiment. I'm going to put it, I should have folded that different so that was in the middle so I could cover that up. Maybe I can still cover it up. Kind of like that. There we go. Okay, I'm going to close this thing up. Put a little band around it, like so. And there we go. There is a birthday card for my father-in-law. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm sorry it was so tedious. I will get better at this, I hope. If I don't, I'll quit. Thank you for watching. If you stuck through to the end, I really appreciate your patience. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.